Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Come on in and do share. Come on in and do share. Come on in and do share. Here we are for our midweek time together. Come on in and do share. Come into the space of absolute love and care where your situation, your circumstances, your heart, your mind, your physical circumstances, financial circumstances, where your circumstances matter. I don't have to know your business. I don't have to know everything that is going on in your life. But if there is a message here for you tonight, I encourage you to stay for the entirety of this time and invite those who you believe need to be here as well as we flow with prophetic insight and wisdom, whatever it is that you need. That's what we're asking I am for at every given moment. It's almost like discovering the pieces to your puzzle, getting guidance along the way. That's all we're here for. That's how I show love to this earth, by offering the words that are coming to me. And I believe that we can do that in this space where it is, I give as freely as God allows me to. And if you are blessed, if it resonates, if something is said that touches home for you, then you give according to what your heart desires. If there's anything that I see number wise, color wise, otherwise, I'm going to give that. And if it resonates with you, then by all means, please pour into the vessel and the ministry vision. But we just want to flow here. We just want you to come into this space and receive what it is that you need to hear from God, because there are questions, there are people who are asking for clarity and strategy. And as much as I may teach and share with all of us that, it's only the state of our minds being transformed by the renewing of our minds that's going to really help us to see clearly in this hour for ourselves. Once we get to this understanding that the kingdom of God is within us, and the scriptures tell us to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, his right standing, his fairness, his justice. And all of these things shall be added unto you. What things? The things that you need for life, for living. And so we're here just to get clear, just to be still, and just to ask God to show us what it is that we may need to see and hear in this hour. Yes, come into this space, come into this space. Find you a space. Excuse me tonight. Find you a space where you can just be. We're going to breathe. We're going to set our intention. And we are going to flow. So that means you may need to have a couple of things with you when you come into this time and space with me. Number one, have with you paper and pencil. Have with you paper and pencil. Why? Why do I need to have paper and pencil with me? Well, the reason would be because there is something that you may hear that won't even just sound good. I have this thing where I tell those that listen to me to have their well dang moment. It's the moment where either something hits you in the gut like, oh, well dang, that was just for me, or well dang, I never thought of it that way. Or Well, dang, I feel a conviction within myself because that doesn't ring true with what I believe, what I hold true. And so I want you to have your paper and pencil with you, but I want you to get into a space where you feel comfort. So if you're sitting on a chair, make sure it's a comfortable chair, not one where you can just lay down and go to sleep. Yeah. But get in a space that you can be as erect as possible, where you can breathe, reset yourself from whatever your day has held, and settle in. If there's something in your day that made you swell up with love and feel joy and feel happiness, then I want you to hold on to those thoughts and feelings. We're going to remember those things. Remember those things that are of good report. We're going to remember those things that keep our hope alive. We're going to remember the stories of triumph, testimonies of those who came before us, but we are in the right now where this breath is very real. We're breathing it. If you can hear me talking, you still breathing. You still have some type of air coming through your body, blood pumping through your veins. You are here, you are present. And so we want to get here in that space right now. Get into that space. Yes. Yes. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. Come on, just get in a space where you can just be. Listen, there's no need for us to complain about our days and our nights and everything that's wrong with our lives. Ask God to help us and give us answers, and we're not still enough ever to really just hear those answers. So when we come into this space, that's what I want to offer you. That's all I ask is, God, say what you need to say, give instruction, give warning, give wisdom, give insight, give clarity, give strategy. Speak to each individual that comes into this space with what they just need to hear for themselves. And if there's a collective message that's going to help this greater whole, allow us all to open ourselves up to hear. That's what my prayer is, that we are in this space to receive the love of God through insight, through prayer, intercession, whatever we need during this time, we're here for it. So when you come in and you invite someone else, just understand that we are going to say what he says, because you never know who's listening. When people look at me strange, or they have strange things to say because of the extent of what God is doing in this season of life, the only thing I can do right now in this time is be, okay with it. I feel okay with the fact that there are just those that just may not understand that God is no respecter of persons. So God is not going to only give me the instructions for a particular group of people, not in my charge. The message that he gives is the message that resembles him most, and that is that God is all. And he will speak and say whatever needs to be said. And that's what this environment is for. This is where the universal message, the universal love of God resides. What Christ Joshua tried to teach, and the Buddha and Gandhi and Mother Teresa displayed, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about, and Malcolm X was trying to say, all of these people trying to speak messages of change through the change of our behaviors, through the change of our thought processes. through love. So come into this space knowing that, hey, I'm expecting to hear something directly from myself that I can use to help shift myself from within, so that what I display in this earth will be for the betterment of all. Be for the betterment of all. Come on, let's get ready to take a deep breath in. Take that first deep breath in. You are breathing in love. You are breathing in light. You are breathing in peace. You are breathing in joy. You are breathing in everything that you desire to experience and feel in this moment. Everything that you want to dissipate. Everything you want to settle. Everything that you want to be rid of. Then I need you to open yourself up to hear what the message will be. Take that deep breath in and then breathe out all doubt, fear, and unbelief. Will thou be made whole is the question that you want to ask right now. And if you're asking yourself that question, then you have to give yourself that answer. And that answer that you give right here in this moment is going to decide for you how the rest of this evening goes, how the rest of this call goes. So breathe in, breathe out doubt, fear, unbelief. Yes, I want to be made whole. Yes, I want to hear the answer. Yes, I want to take accountability. Yes, I want to understand where it is that I can shift my thinking. Yes, I want to know where I don't need to conform to the world any longer. And my ideas, my thoughts, my movements. I want to know what I can do to settle my heart, my mind. I want to know what I can do to offer myself up, this broken heart, to be mended. I want to know what I can do to wake up tomorrow morning and feel refreshed and alive and full of purpose. I want to know. Take another deep breath in. Yes, release, 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 release the unbelief. Because if you come into a space and you want answers, then you got to believe that the answer can come. You have to believe that the answer can come. That's why you may be here in this moment, here at this present time. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this third deep breath in. This is that breath of gratitude. It's the breath where we are conscious of the fact that we are breathing, conscious of the fact that God is ever present, that in this very moment that God is near you, God is with you. I want to say welcome to our Inspirational Treasure page over here on YouTube, included tonight, because this is a part of this 30-day stretch for me. This is a part of who I am, what I do. This is my livelihood. This is my job, my career, my purpose, my all those things wrapped up into one. And over on my Inspirational Treasure page, I'm just saying to the people every single day of June, this is who I am. This is how I've become to be settled within myself as I have come to know love as the master healer of all things, of my life, of all that surrounds us. Showing up as your true self, authentic self, with love as your governor, as your ruler, and being able to settle within that, because being unconditionally loved means that you learn how to accept yourself and every part of you, every thought. And so I'm sharing that part tonight here on the Inspirational Treasure YouTube page, as well as our ministry page, Love Walk Outreach Global. Welcome, welcome, and blessings to each and every one of you who are jumping in and out. I am Apostle Shalonda Treasure, Dr. Shalonda Treasure, Prophet Shalonda Treasure, Coach Treasure, whatever treasure you're looking for. I'm wrapped up in here. All of those parts to be whatever it is that the great I am has designed for me to be to you at any given moment. Tonight, we are just here to help you to breathe, to relax, and to listen to something that you may need to hear, maybe an answer to a question, maybe a strategy, maybe something that you didn't even know you needed to hear. There may be some things that have been reoccurring in your life, whether it be you've seen a particular number, a particular color is stepping out or showing itself to you more than normal, or any other thing. I'm positioned to just say what it is that God wants to be said in any given moment, because He is no respecter of persons, meaning that He understands everybody's language. And if He so desires for me to say it in this space for you, then that's what I'm here for. So we're going to take this third deep breath in. It is intentional breath of gratitude. In other words, when you breathe in, you are breathing in full gratitude for that breath, for the movement that you can experience, for the fact that you're able to hear me, the fact that you're able to feel the presence that is never an absence. God is never absent. God is everywhere at the same time, all the time, ever present as whatever it is that you need. But here's the key: you must believe. Sometimes we feel like God is nowhere to be found, but the reality is that God is never absent. God is always able to be found. But we have to come into agreement with that thing. He is showing us in this hour the power thereof. We've had a form of godliness for so very long, but we deny the power thereof, the power of faith, the power of manifesting through what you see, what you deem to be true. Seeing through the clear eyes of love will allow you to filter everything before you even begin to speak it out of your mouth. If the thought comes up, you immediately begin to go in and evaluate your heart to be sure that, hey, this thing that I'm saying, this thing that I'm feeling, it's not because I am angry or mad or vengeful, because I only want to give out what I want to receive. I want love. I want support. I want to receive. For that which I give out, I want to be treated fairly and respectfully. And so therefore, that's all I want to give to others. You begin to filter it through. But then you come back to that place where you're just absolutely grateful, because you understand that everything about me that's functioning here in this physical body, this individual experience, and around me, it's for me to be grateful for, because God can show up as anything I need. And when you filter through love, that's where you're going to get to every time. There's nothing missing, lacking, or broken. Everything about this existence, everything has a solution. It has an idea. It has an answer. It has a strategy for healing, a strategy for winning, a strategy for striving, thriving. Not even striving, just thriving, because we don't want to strive. Go ahead and please share this with someone else. Many blessings to both Nadia and Destiny. Thank you for joining us. I can do all things through Christ. I don't know when the last time any of you have even said that or even thought about it, especially those of you who are connected and follow the teachings. And we talk about the Christ mind. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahshua, in Christ Yahshua, becoming Christ Yahshua, being realized as the Christ, that which has lived with that mind that comes directly from the great I am, that is the great I am incarnate in all these different spaces and places. Holy Spirit being registered throughout this earth. And you have this space where you begin to see differently, think differently, understand differently. Because God is all things, there is absolutely no lack. This is something that Christ Yahshua understood, something that he become to know over time, even when he was younger, as he sat and studied and listened in the synagogues and began to take in all the information, just to stand back up and regurgitate it to them, letting them know, I got it, I understand it. And then he leaves and he goes and he explores and he learns other places, and he comes back and he teaches even more at such a greater level. He begins to talk to the people about the fact that, hey, you're doing everything according to this system, these systems of things that you've worked out, that you believe, that you have heard and that you've received. But I want to give you a better way. I want to talk to you about this heart way, this place, this way of the heart, where you do the searching, where you evaluate, you go within yourself and you begin to evaluate everything about your heart, and you begin to say, yes, I see that. Yes, I see that. It turns into something other than outward blame, finger pointing, shaming, all of the things that many people fight with every day. Some of you are in the places that you are as far as your self-esteem and your self-worth and all of that because of the blaming, the shaming, the naming, the accusing, the misinterpretation of who you are. And so the object of the Christ mind is to turn everything inward first. Inward first. So as you take this breath in, you're going to be in gratitude for this Christ mind that you are pursuing. You're going to be in gratitude for that breath that you are breathing, that blood that is running through your veins, and the purpose that is in each and everything that has been expressed. God has expressed everything with purpose. With purpose. You are expressed with purpose. So take it in, and when you do, hold the breath for as long as you're able to. No pressure past that. And when you release it very slowly, just thanking God within yourself, thanking love for governing you, for being here to help you to see, understanding that love will show up as you need it. So every voice that you need to hear, every blessing that you need to receive, all favor that you need, every love is all of those things to us, whatever you need, but you must come into agreement. So you're going to even be grateful for the right to choose, to come into agreement or to reject. Take that breath in. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful, so grateful. As you come in, please do say hello. You never know who God is going to speak directly to tonight. If you already understand the dynamics of sowing and reaping, then go ahead and please do get your seed in tonight, whatever your amount may be. Oh, Rabbi, it's all significant. It's all significant. It's all significant. All things work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose. That is a meat type of revelation right there. It's telling you that there's nothing that will be missing or lacking or broken. If you come into agreement with it, you ask, you seek, you knock, you stand in faith, you believe, you trust. It cannot not be. And it's the reason why you must change the way that you think and what you focus on, because whatever you put your focus on, that's the thing that you're putting your faith in. Even if it's fear of an outcome, you have put faith in the fact that this outcome is what's going to happen. I will never be enough. I will never have love. I will never be free from this thing. Or you have put your faith in that outcome. So tonight I need you to change your focus. Where are you going to put your faith at tonight? So whatever number you choose to sow at this moment, even if I announce something else later, you can decide whether that is something you want to do as well. But whatever number you choose to give tonight, it is always significant. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. I'm trying to teach you how to be positioned to hear what God is saying at any given moment. This is your life, and you are well equipped to hear. You come here for guidance. You may come here for intercession or prayer, but you don't come here for me or anybody else to dictate to you what your life should be. That comes from within. That comes from within. So let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Yahshua. Let that Christ mind be in you. Don't be afraid of that statement. Let that Christ mind be in you. You revert back to certain teachings from your childhood. And this is what I hear the Lord say even in this moment. Reverting back to teachings of your childhood is okay as long as you're willing to study them all the way out. When it's time for you to hear something new, because you've asked God to pour more into you. You've asked God for insight. You've asked God to make it clear and make it plain for you what you need in any given moment. So when God begins to speak through a vessel that you trust the heart of, and mind you, you must use discernment, guard your heart with all diligence. So if you do not trust a source, then you have to make a decision as to whether you need to stay for some intent and purpose, or whether you need to remove yourself from that which you do not trust. It's okay for you to use discernment. And I'm bold enough to tell you to do that because I know that my heart is pure towards you and pure towards what it is that God has for me to do. So when I'm speaking, I'm going to say what he says and I'm going to do what he does. That's the mind of Christ. And when your heart is, and when you're choosing to pursue that the purity of heart, which of course causes for you to go within often and check yourself and check your ideas and check your thoughts and check your responses and check your reactions, all those things. It's going to constantly having you to search your own heart first. So I do my best to make sure I do that before and even throughout my days, because I know what it means to be mistreated, to be mishandled, to be despitefully used. But I also remember what it feels like to be doing the same because of your own pain. Yeah, we all have fallen short. We all have done something, said something, acted in a way that caused pain to another. There's no judgment in this space because we understand what it means to be forgiven. Christ's mind. So when you are researching, make sure you search deep enough to get a full understanding of something. And if there's something that you just cannot understand still, you need to make sure that you put it before God as an intention. Make sure you write some things down. I'm talking prophetically right now. If you're catching it, catch it. Write down what's for you. But you need to make sure that you write down your intentions, questions that you want to know the answers to. And then when God begins to pull you towards the answer, you can't blame everything on the devil and make it seem like the devil is trying to trip you up and trip you with an answer. Ask God for clarity and peace will come. You are learning how to trust the kingdom of God that is within you. You're starting to trust as you pursue the mind of Christ. Again, as you pursue that same mind, then your thought process changing to his manner and his way. The manner and the way of the one that you trust as your spiritual counsel, as your spiritual example, as your spiritual leader. When you trust a vessel, one that has come before us, you honor that vessel and you honor those words. What is it that you need to hear tonight as you pursue this mind? What do you need to throw away tonight that no longer serves your purpose, no longer serves your life, causing you misery, causing you pain? Go within yourself. Write down those questions. Trust that God is going to give you that answer in whichever way makes sense to you. It's another thing that you need to catch tonight. Whatever frame of mind you're in, whatever it is that you're putting your trust in, more than likely you're going to get your answers through that. So for some of you that are listening to me, you are getting your answers right now through family members, friends, loved ones, because that's where you put most of your trust, whether it be a particular individual or a whole group of people. Sometimes it's the reason why you're confused, because you put your trust in a certain dynamic. Well, that's how God is going to talk to you. And sometimes it's going to come across harsh because the family members may be harsh. Sometimes it's going to come across really gentle because that family member may be the nurturer, may be gentle. Sometimes it's going to come across as well intentions that you know are not for you, because that family member is just saying what's on their mind, but God is going to give you that stirring on the inside of you that's going to say, yeah, no, that's not for me. God will speak to you through an argument even, right? Through a conversation that turns heated. God is showing you something. He's revealing to you what's in your heart and maybe revealing to them what's in theirs. One way or another, God will use whatever he needs to use to get your attention. Sometimes you might say, well, why would he use an argument? Well, because that stirred up your emotions. And when your emotions begin to get stirred up, that's when you have to do that self-check, that inward check. That inward thing that says, hey, what that heart look like, Shalonda? What's going on with you? Hey, what's going on with you, Destiny? Hey, what's going on with you, Nadia? Hey, what's going on with you? Right? And so you begin to ask that question so that you can self-evaluate, not so that you can tell yourself all the reasons why other people are corrupt, all the reasons why other people are bad, all the reasons why other people don't need to be in your life, all the reasons why other people don't need this stuff. We do that so we can separate ourselves more and more and more and more and more from life, but we are one. And so one way or another, we're going to be able to get it out. So if you're getting in an argument, it's probably because it touched your emotions. It's going to touch a sore spot. It's going to trigger something in you. Triggers are not for you to then go into a closet and then to hide away from everything. Triggers are there to show you that there's something that needs attention. Just like the pain, physical pain in a body. When physical pain in a body comes, you need to pay attention to that pain because something is being affected. It's the reason why we go to doctors, we get appointments, we get checkups. When we pay attention to what's going on, it gets treated. Whether it's something that needs to support you until you're strong enough to do something on your own, like a crutch or a splint or any of those different things for sprains or fractures or breaks, or it could be a medicine that's meant to hold you over for some days. Some antibiotics might help with an infection, something that's there to help you to cope with everyday life until you change habits. Whatever it is that you get from this doctor is supposed to help with that particular physical ailment, that physical pain. If what you're dealing with is spiritual, if it's solistic is your unique expression, who you have been expressed to be. Some people may say I was created. Well, whoever you were created to be, that's your unique expression. That's your soul. Your soul has pain. It's that pain you cannot touch. That's the indication that something is causing you discomfort, is causing you to suffer. You get to choose whether or not this suffrage is worth it to you or not. The suffering that comes with love is done willingly, without complaint, without attitude, without restriction, unconditionally. And so if you come into agreement with it, then you come into the agreement with even the suffrage that comes along. You know, as parents, we have a suffrage. We love our kids so much so that whatever they may do, even if they are in total error, it's like something in you begins to awaken. And it's like, oh, but if we could just figure out how to make it right. Right? That's that unconditional, don't want to see them hurt love no matter what they have done. And that type of love is great in its own in its own perspective. But the balanced form of that love says, yeah, I do love you and I don't want you to ever hurt. And so therefore I have to share this bit of information with you. And it's just to get you prepared and give you wisdom. If you choose to use it, great. If you choose not to use it, that's still up to you. My love does not change. My love does not change. So when you get these nudges and things like that, and things begin to stir up on the inside of you, you're going to hear, you're going to see through the thing you've put your devotion into, the thing that you put your devotion into. And so if you're a people's person, then you may get the answers from people. If you're a creative person or artist, you may get all your inspiration or your messages through those who do art. If you are a person of business, you may get all of your inspiration from there. If you are a loner, then more than likely you're going to be one of those people who begin to find inspiration in just about anything if you set your mind to do so. God will speak however we need it to be done. I hope y'all good at taking notes because I am just going to flow. Masorebakataya. Please invite those that you believe need to hear. Masorebakataya basikiyo rebosh. Korebaishantamanso rekataya mandio sutu. Shindiabaso rebakataya ba. When you begin to feel uncomfortable with this journey, when you begin to feel uncomfortable with the journey to you opening up yourself or expanding, I will call it enlightenment, I'll call it awakening, I'll call it salvation, I'll call it growth, I'll call it whatever you want, or you call it whatever you want. It's all the same conversation saying that, hey, I want to be transformed. I don't want my life to be the same anymore. I don't want the same results anymore. And so therefore, I want to be transformed. As you are on this journey of transformation, again, some people say, well, I want to be saved, or I want to endure this dark night. I want to grow up. I want to mature. God, I want more of you. I want to know more. I want to know love. I want to understand it. I want to know you, God. All of those things is the same conversation. It's an awakening. It's a change, a shift, that something in my life needs to change. I don't want to live in this same condition anymore. And that goes for a lot of different things. Again, if you grew up religious, or if you've been in any type of religious organization for a extended amount of time, the purpose and the goal of being a part of that religious organization is so that somebody can continue to let you know that you need to change. Right. And they point out certain behaviors and actions, and what they most of the time are talking about are the behaviors that destroy a person and that could destroy them. But all of those conversations should lead to, hey, all things are permissible, but this thing may not be beneficial. Do you have self-control? If you do not have discipline, self-control in those areas, then you're going to see the result of that. And so let's talk about how to rescue or be rescued from those situations. That's why you're here. That's why you go to church. That's why you go to school. That's why you go to therapies. That's why you get coached. That's why you do all the things that you do in this life, so you can grow and go through this journey of maturity and growth and development. And when you're ready and you begin to say, God, this is what I want. I want to be made new. Old things passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Then what you are asking for is a journey, a process of development, a process of growth, a process of transformation. Some people see transformation as death to life. You got to lay it down first. Lay down your life in order to get a new one. Lay down the one you think you know. Lay down the one that has been crippling you. Lay down the one that has made you feel as if you are not adequate. You can't do it. You're not valued. And trade it for something else. Take up your cross. Follow that Christ mind. Learn how to think differently. Come and learn of me. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. How do I stop going through the grief that I'm going through? Trade minds. My yoke easy, my burden light. I don't want to live with something that makes me mourn and grieve past what it is. Of course, I can grieve things. I can mourn it. It was in my life, but I need to change my mindset, because the thing that was in my life was never mine. All things working together for my good. So it was there for me, to help me. So when you're going through this journey and you get stuck and you feel stuck, you feel like, I don't have the answer. This is not turning out right. I'm not hearing what I need to hear. Or you feel like you need to go back to that which is familiar. Blessings, Rashida, to you, sweetheart. You want to go back to what is familiar. Then what you're saying is, yeah, I thought I was ready to grow. I thought I was ready to grow, but I'm still afraid of the master. The one that put the chains on me, I'm still afraid. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Joshua. Well, Christ Joshua said it, that I've come to set the captives free. In other words, there should be no chains. And where do you start that? Well, metaphysically, because if we're going to worship God in spirit and in truth, then what we're saying is, I'm going to see this thing through a different set of eyes. I'm going to see it through the eyes of the spirit. I'm going to see through the eyes of the spirit. And if I see through the eyes of the spirit, everything has a purpose. Everything had a reason. And so I can sit here and hold on to all of the pain and be afraid to move forward in my life. Or I can take this and say, you know what? I really did mean it. God, I no longer want to feel this way about myself. I don't want to feel this way about my life. I don't want to wake up every morning feeling like life sucks. It's not worth it. I want to find joy in everything that I'm doing, every project that I'm doing. And so God is trying to open up your heart and your mind to let you know that, hey, I've always intended for you to find the truth of your purpose and who you are, your authentic self, who I expressed you to be. I want to experience this life through your eyes. And when you're stuck, I'll send an answer. I'll come as an answer. So don't go backwards because you're afraid. Keep going forward. Connect yourself. Listen, when you're tapping into the Spirit of God within yourself, or the kingdom of God within yourself, the kingdom of heaven within yourself, and you're asking for intentional instructions to how to get from where you are to where you want to be, God will send you those answers. The battles that you will ensue, the temptations and all of these different things. Again, you cannot be tempted by something that you don't want. If you're tempted, it's because you are battling between, do I want this or not? I really, really do want this, and it's a struggle for me not to take it. And the reason why I'm not taking it is because it's not beneficial for my life. Those are like those moments where you feel tempted, and the devil's busy and all of that. You can claim it to be some outside pitchfork, having person or individual, but it is all spiritual. What you're battling with is you'll hear somebody say, oh, that's all in your mind. They're not wrong. It just makes you feel bad because you're not looking at it from a whole perspective. Your spiritual battle within yourself, with your adversary, with that devil, with the one that God has given an assignment to. That's something that you still have to be aware of. Okay, this is happening, but I have the power thereof to deny you, to resist you, not to allow you to take my life over. So no, I will not give into this particular temptation. It is a cycle of life. But if you have yielded to the process of growth, do not allow what people have to say. And this is not to say, oh man, forget people, forget them. No, no. That's the opposite of love. Love accepts all, it understands all, and it allows all, because love is not intimidated by anything. Love has no condition. It has no condition. But as you are looking forward to this understanding of what unconditional love really looks like, it is going to mess with some things in your psyche. It's going to take you back to those things that you heard growing up, the things that somebody said to you, and you've been afraid to do it ever since. It's going to break a lot of that. It's going to break a lot of that. But because you are in a place of still having weaker faith, many of us are still having way weaker faith than what we could, as we develop. Our measure will change. But if you're battling with some things, God is trying to stretch you because you're asking to be stretched. You're asking to grow. Don't go back because you're afraid. But hear me. Doing anything outside of faith is the sin. The shortcoming is when we do not believe in what it is that we're doing. We do not believe in what it is that we're saying. We're teaching God. We're preaching God. We're going to church every Sunday. We're going to every gathering that we can go to. Also, we can say the same things out loud that we're trying to convince ourselves of in our hearts. No, you do that work first. That's what the inner work is for. So when you want to run back to what is saved, then you're saying, okay, yep, God, I'm not ready for this yet. And guess what? If you choose to do that, he respects that. God ain't mad. You're going to feel the misery of it, because the reason why you were trying to break out in the first place is because there's something in you that says, hey, it's time for us to switch pots. This pot is too small to hold me now. My roots need to extend. Let's switch pots. And you switching pots and it feels all empty because now you're not filling up the whole bottom of it anymore. You got to have space and you're growing and it feels uncomfortable. It feels empty. It feels like you're giving in to the temptation. The truth is you're fighting yourself. You're fighting going towards what's pulling you just to stay in the thing that you don't even trust or believe in the first place. But if anything not done in faith is sin, then if I'm pretending to believe something that I don't, if I'm pretending that I got it and I understand it, no, you're afraid. You're afraid that you're afraid. Well, number one, you may be afraid because you don't want anybody to say, "Oh, I thought that this was what it was," and you don't want people to come back and be like, "Oh, but you were so big and bold when you was talking all that smack about God before, and now all of a sudden you on mute. Now you learn something different. Now you know that what I really was telling you had some merit." So you don't want somebody to say, "Oh, you was wrong." And then you don't want somebody else to say, "Oh, so you switching out? Oh, you changing up on me?" See, I knew that's what you was trying to do the whole time. You don't want to be caught up in it. You don't want people to have something to say. I get it. I understand all of it. Believe me. It has been a long journey to liberty. And I'm still walking it. Because there will be things that come up every now and again that make me want to run back and be like, you know what, let me just go ahead and submit to this thing right here. And then guess what? I go back to bondage. And guess what? There may be seven more powerful than itself, the thing that's holding me on lock. Now I may really get into my feelings and my thoughts and feel like I'm the betrayer, I'm the wrong one. Oh my God, I gotta submit. I gotta be so. All of that is fear. And hear this, love walkers. Perfect love casts out fear. So if I go back to a situation because of fear, I'm going to be in more fear because I'm there, because I'm going to be worried about what people are going to say and how people are going to treat me and whether or not I'm going to be welcomed back in and all those different things. Fear is not what love does. Fear is what love allows. Because love allows. God allows, and it's not a trick. Remember, I told y'all free will is not a trick. Somebody write that down. You can type it in the chat, or you can write it down on your paper real big on the top. Free will is not a trick. I am free to choose. I've counted my costs, and either I'm going to take up my cross, I'm going to change my life because I don't want to be that person anymore, or I'm gonna calculate everything and I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm good on this side. I'd rather take this than have to go through that. Either decision is yours. So don't be afraid to go. Don't be afraid to go. Go where? Go forward. If you feel like you need to go back, retreat, and that's what's safe for you, I can't tell you not to. You get to choose your suffrage. But for some, there's no going back once your eyes are open to something. You've asked God to tell you, to show you, and he begins to do so. Ain't no going back. You feel like if I go back, I will die there. And all the searching, all the asking and seeking and knocking was for nothing. All the hours of crying out and praying as you God, show me you. God, show me your heart for your people and show me their heart for you. It's been my prayer for years. Create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me. My prayer for years. Father, forgive me for any sin that I've committed against you or against anyone else, knowingly or unknowingly. Because when I sin against others, I sin against you. And now here that thing just illuminates for you when you understand that it's talking about faith. Listen, I mistreat people because I don't have no faith in them. I don't believe that they are God incarnate just like me. I don't believe that they are one with me. I don't believe that we are all connected. I don't believe it because if I did, I would not be stumping holes in my own feet. I would not be jigging myself, hurting myself. People who do that, they're trying to immune themselves to pain. They're tired of hurting. But what happens if we literally go forward? Change the heart, change the mind, change the soul. My soul rebakataya. Mikataya man soko rebaishataya bas. Mekaya baso. Rashida, are you still here, sweetheart? I'm about to prophesy to individuals right now. If you want to go ahead and put your seed in here now, I will call the name of whoever God gives me to call their name, even people who are not here. If you have ever, well, I don't know if they're here or not, because again, these are recorded. So people may be listening 10, 20 years from now and they will hear their name. I will say whatever name that comes out of my, whatever name that God says, I will say it. Because I believe with everything in me that what comes out of me in the time of flow is what somebody will need to hear, whether tonight or whether in 5, 20, 25,000 years. Somebody might be listening to this and they name it, listen, it may be something that we never even thought about it. And if he said, I'm going to say it, because I believe that he speaks when he needs to. Come on, y'all, go ahead and put your get your seed in the ground tonight. Whatever your number is, it is on purpose, it is strategic. Excuse me. You can become a Love Walk Vision partner. We have so many things that God is just showing and opening up and illuminating to us, places that we need to go, places that we need to connect with that are doing really great works in this world, and we want to connect with them. We want to go ahead and begin the philanthropic endeavors that we've been aching to do. Love is doing. Strong bear the infirmity of the weak. To bear the burdens of one another is to fulfill the law of Christ. So that's why we're here. Love walks. It sees what needs to be done. And so we're ready to dive into that, become a Love Walk Vision partner with us. And we're going to be putting some stuff together soon so we can really articulate the vision in even deeper depth. I can say we want to show the world how to love. We want to use this love walk approach and we want to change this world for the better. But how do we do that? And so we're going to get that verbiage together. We're going to put it out there so you will be able to become a monthly vision partner at whatever level that you see fit. We are not an organization that believes in favoritism. Well, let me say this. This is not a servant leader that believes in favoritism. I may even I was last night sit and listen. Literally, I'm coming, Rashida. Was just waiting for everybody to get their seating. It always amuses me, y'all. Let me just be honest. It always amuses me when the numbers go down, like when money, when the seed time is talked about, when people are live. Sometimes I know I think I used to do it like kind of disappear because I didn't want to feel guilty that I couldn't give. But many people drop out because they don't like to hear about it. Visions or fundraisers or sponsorships or seed or whatever until it's their vision. Interesting. But that always amuses me. Anyway, let me go ahead and get to Rashida. I'll talk about the rest later. Let me get my heart and my mind back in the flow of things. Hallelujah. 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 Rashida, try me, says God. You have learned a lot growing up in the system of Christianity, of religion, of going to church, of trying to figure out the right thing to do. The reason why I will always be able to relate to you in some way, shape, or form is because you are silently questioning things that I've actually asked God out loud or spoke on before, because I was a lot confused. I mean, I heard the messages and I wanted to be able to really, really believe what I was being taught, because I don't want to be in error, right? I don't want to die. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want God to be mad at me. I don't, all the things that I learned growing up, I literally have allowed it for so many years to restrict where I would go in God. So it kept me depressed. And I'm sharing this with you. I know it's God because, I don't think I've shared this part yet. I don't even think I put this in this particular book yet. Habaso rebakataya basi. Ku rebakataya. God began to show me, Rashida, as I was going through my journey, my spiritualistic journey, which, is what this particular book is about. God began to show me along this journey the things that were causing me to be depressed. Now, mental illness, depression, all of the things that people deal with, chemical imbalances, all of these things are true. They do happen. Our bodies do react to the chemicals. Our bodies respond to the pressure that is on our that are on our bodies, right? Mentally, emotionally, in life, and the way we eat and the way we function. All things work together, right? And so these things are real. They manifest. And so much so that there are classifications for them, right? There's been so much research done that it's known that, hey, these are the traits of people who are going through depression. Now, depression can be situational or it can be clinical. Clinical depression, again, still has to do with something that is working against the body or working against the mind, or it's simply just a difference in how God has created it, and is nothing wrong with it at all. But you feel lost and you feel like, I'm here, I know I'm called to do something, I don't know if I should do this or whether I should just do everything for church or for kingdom, or all these things, because there is confusion. There is so much confusion as to what to believe, because what's happening on the inside of you, what's happening in your mind, the thoughts that you have, the revelations you have, the dreams that you have when you're doing prayer, even when you just stop doing all of that, you can still hear and see. Even when you try to just don't even entertain it, it's just a part of who you are, sweetheart. It's not nothing you can just turn off and turn on like a switch. It's still going to happen, but you yielding to it is tough, because you're trying to make sure that you're doing everything right to please people and to please God. And so here's where the problem is coming in. The problem is coming in because if we are not clear about what we believe, we are not really living by faith. If you believe that everything about you is wrong, God made a mistake, God, something must be wrong. Well, God didn't make a mistake, but obviously the devil is doing this. And the reason why I feel like this is because of this and that and the other, then we are still not living by faith. When you realize that you are absolutely what you were always meant to be, and that those things that are tugging at you from the inside are the things that are trying to come out every time you say, God, what's wrong? What's going on with me? What about me? Why haven't I arrived to this place yet? Why hasn't this happened? Why hasn't that? And God is trying to show you, but he's going to show you from the inside out. So you are battling. Depression is really heavy. And this may not just be for Rashida. And again, a lot of these things is for many of us that are listening, because we've thought that we had to do it a certain type of way for a very long time. And so it is hard for us to come out of these places of depression. So we end up doing what? Blaming it on the demonic, blaming it on the awful darkness, the wickedness, the evil. We're fighting against an evil that we think is outside of ourselves. We are everything embodied, because that's the way that God made it. Made in his image, if that's what we want to see it as. We are everything embodied. So when we're having these conversations, arguments, and having duels in ourselves, that is us battling. And it is going to cause a great depression, and it is going to get even deeper if you do not come to grips and understanding that God is never absent. You are not a disgrace. You are not wrong. You are not bad. You are not wretched. You are not a filthy, dirty rag. And hear me when I'm saying all of this. We are to examine if we're living to pursue the same mind that was in Christ Joshua, then we are living to see things through the lenses of love, through the place of no condition. The trick of the enemy is to see all of your flaws and to magnify your flaws. That's the trick that the enemy's allowed to play or to display in your life. And here's where that free will comes in again. Remember, free will is not a trick. I get to choose if I'm going to look at myself from this perspective or if I am going to see myself through clear lenses. Shendeba kansokoreba. Mansokoreba. Amen, Nadia. Thank you for that. See, shows a stance of agreement. Amen, it does. Shekata manso rebakata mansu. Kaya bayobo o rebakataya. Shentabaso. Rashida, I want you to embrace yourself. If this is some work that you need to do for yourself as well, don't feel like you cannot participate, but be very careful to know that this message is for you as well. If you know that you're holding on to these thoughts and ideas of yourself because of what's been preached, taught, y'all, I'm not here to be against anything or anybody, but I am here to stand for love. As love, for love. That's what we are. We are love incarnate. Love walks among us, as us, for us. We just have to come to the realization and the understanding that this is who we are at the core of ourselves. We got to heal all the brokenness, all the issues, all the pain of what people think and see. Remember, people are just looking through their own lenses. And you're doing the same. So tonight I need you to change your lenses. Hold yourself. Don't let go. Continue to embrace. One day I'm going to get to your location and I'm going to be able to hug you, embrace you, and I'm going to reserve a certain amount of time before the fact to be able to embrace you for as long as you want to or need to be embraced. When you're ready to host, you know how to reach out, you know how to make it happen. Go ahead and get the people to sign up, whatever you feel like you need to do, because the time is drawing near. Let me just say that. Where I must physically embrace you. It's almost like I see God say it's the final breaking. It's the final breaking off of things once we're able to do it in real life. But at this moment, I'm embracing you with pure love. And that spirit of depression, it is a spirit of depression that you've agreed to allow to take residence. It's situational. It's not chemical. In other words, it can become chemical when it's situational, but it's not clinical. Let me say that. It is literally something that can be worked out. It's work that you're going to have to do within yourself to change your mindset from who you are not to who God says you are. How do I know who God says I am, Apostle? You learn you. You see yourself as you are. The things that people may think are flaws are actually assets and attractions to others. You've sat with this image of yourself for so long because oh, baby girl. Oh, this is so good. It's so good right here. All right. So, Rashida, I hope you're still rocking with me, baby. Please still just be with yourself. You can rock yourself. You can cry if you need to. You can do whatever you're doing. Right now, God says, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I don't know if you sowed a seed or not, Rashida, but if there's somebody who is willing to sow on her behalf, if she's not able to, please do that tonight. It's going to grow. It's going to grow. So I was doing some searching, right? As I'm going through, reading through the new book, finishing touches, making sure that God has said everything that needs to be said. And the story of the man at the pool of Bethesda comes up. Because this is the question. Y'all know this is a part of that coaching program, and to be able to say, will thou be made whole? And what that heart look like. We ask these questions because in order for us to have the result that we're asking for, it must be a faith thing. We must believe that he is, and that he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek. So whatever you want to happen in your life can only happen if you're sitting in a place of faith. So nevertheless, Rashida, I'm reading through that particular chapter and the words, and the man is saying, every time the angel comes down and troubles the water, somebody jumps in or steps in before I get a chance to do so. Because obviously the pool of Bethesda, when it was stirred up, only kind of the first person who got in there got the miracle. And so you, sweetheart, this is what I see. I see you as that man. And I see you by this pool. And I see you saying every single time I get close to it, it seems that somebody steps in front of me and they take it first. I see you feeling as if you're always the background person, not because you've settled into just being an introvert. You're just an introverted person who has some great skill, gifts, and abilities. But you work the background better, and it's okay for you to do that. When you do step into the forefront, you have what it takes to do that as well. But you are a multi-dimensional person, and it's okay for you to see yourself as all of them. If it was not true, you would not even have the idea. But it's okay for you to step into and be exactly who you are. But you've been feeling like, nope, the reason why this hasn't happened is because people keep stepping in before me. But God says, no. I need you to understand something. If you want this, you can have this. If you want to be whole, you can be whole. If you want this career to take off and to do everything you want it to do, you can have it. If you want to do fashion, listen, it's so many people that do fashion in this world. It's not that you're not good enough. It's that everybody's trying to get themselves established in this area. And so you're just going to keep doing what it takes to stand apart and to welcome the audience that you cater to. And you're going to do great things. Whatever you want to change, however you want to live out this purpose. You are going through the depressions because you are not okay with embracing the fact that you are all of the things that God made you to be. Doubts, fears, and unbeliefs, they come up. It's a part of our makeup. It's like a challenge that we, almost like our internal system, right? That knows how to be the adversary so that we can challenge ourselves to see that what we're made of. Rashida, I need you to sit for a second and just see you. Yep, you are unique. Yep, they call you weird, and that's because you are, and it's okay. Weird is dope. Weird is awesome. To the creative world, to the creative mind, the only thing that can make us feel better about our life is seeing somebody do what it is that we love to do. I love being in a room with prophets. It keeps me in awe to see how amazing God is, speaking directly to himself in these different vessels, speaking out into the world in these different vessels as us, for us. It amazes me. I love being in the room with poets. So I'm a poet. I love being in the room with authors, reading their books, seeing the ideas, how they came up with it. I love watching other coaches do their thing. I love watching other people be honored for all of their accomplishments and celebrated for the time and the effort that they put out there, even when life was tough. I love it. I'm drawn into these spaces. I love neo soul. I love mature literature because I am a very sensual individual, and I believe that people who are in relationships should enjoy it to the max. Mature folks, married folks, hey, I love being in an environment where I can thrive. I even love being around directors of movies. I love being on movie sets. I thrive. Hours can go by and I just get lost in the creative outlet of it all. I'm pulled towards that who I am. But I'm also an introvert. If I don't have to be somewhere, I would prefer to be right here in my own space. It's just me. It's all my parts. I'm moody. I'm extreme in my emotions because I'm an empath. I feel people who are hurting physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, crying out. I love it. I love to watch God work. You are multidimensional, and that's okay. But you have got to come to grips with the fact that you are who you are. Not because other people need to be proven wrong, but because you need to see what God sees when he looks at you. You are extraordinary. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Girl, do you hear me? You were made with reverence. Nothing by mistake. And you don't have to be better than the next person to be all that God intended for you to be. You just need to be authentically you. My soul, Rebakatai. The embrace, the embrace, the embrace, the embrace. Be still, sweetheart, in your mind right now. Know that you are loved, valued. You have exceptional gifts. Use them. And your gifts will make room. Shindabaso Rebakatai. O Rebakandi Abasutu Shetebe. Mekayaman Sikio Reboko Shata. Yakandi Abasikio Rebokotu. And it is so. Maso Rebashende. I hear the name Michelle. Either your name is Michelle or you know someone named Michelle, or Michelle, you will be listening to this at a later date. But I hear God say, Michelle, you are extremely valued, but you continue to do the devaluing. There are people around you, Michelle, that literally tell you almost every day how much they appreciate you, how much you matter, how much you bring into their lives. It's almost like I see a man doing it, like a relationship. It's like he's always trying to prove that you're special, that you're important, that you're valued. Whoever this Michelle is, your last name has an A and an S somewhere in there, and an N somewhere in there. Those are the only three letters I get to see. But it's like this man is saying, you are so good. You're wonderful. You're loving. You're kind. I appreciate everything that you bring to me. But you devalue yourself because you continue to remind yourself of what you have not accomplished. And you feel like, if I don't become this person, then I'm not good enough for that person. So I'm going to hurt them in the long run. And so what you're doing is self-sabotaging right now. Because this person is already saying, I don't need you to be anything extra for me. Now, if there's something that you want to do to better yourself, they're 100% there for that too. To encourage you, to uplift you and tell you that you can do it. Amen, Rashida. Because, but Michelle, this man is telling you, I don't need you to be. Let me say this. No, it's masculine energy. So I don't know if it's a male or if it's a stud I'm seeing. But masculine energy says, you don't need to be anything else for me. I don't need you to perform. I don't need you to change your spots. But if you want to do something for yourself, then I'm willing to support you in that. If you want to grow or do something different in your life, it's really the love that you've been asking for. But it feels strange. It feels uncomfortable because what you're used to is having people to come in and they use you all up for that which you have. Now, your love is meant to be used. We are meant to be the strength for people who are weak in areas at times, and sometimes it seems like they're weak for a very long time, and it could be because we are, sometimes we take a long time to process, to learn, to grow. But you've been given so much out and you felt like, they just used you. But the reality is, and I'm about to say this, and I hope it doesn't make you or whoever else this is for feel uncomfortable. But a lot of times we agree to be in relationships with people who we know need a certain thing. They're needy in a certain area. And we agree to it at the time because it feeds this need that we have to be needed. All right. But when it becomes more than what we want it to be, then we are upset and we feel used and we feel broken and we feel hurt because how could they possibly do this to me? Well, they did it because that's who they always were. You saw, but you chose to still go forward with it. Now, don't live in shame of that. That's just a part of what happens when we are still trying to become whole. We feel like we have to find that validation in something or someone else. And they feel the void. Now, is it true that we feel the voids for each other? Yes. We are here one to another. I am you, you are me. We feel the voids for each other. But when we are in a place of desperation because of a lack mindset, I lack that. I don't feel like I have that. I never had that. We feel the lack of all of it. Then we will continue to draw to ourselves the very thing that we're trying to resist. So we made the decisions. We were in the relationships. We just got to own that. Take accountability. That's what we're talking about this Sunday coming up on the Love Walk approach. All right. Y'all make sure y'all join us. We take accountability. The thing is, okay, yep, I did that. I accepted that. I was knee deep in it and I enjoyed every bit of it. And as long as it was good, it was great. And when it was not, then I was upset. You just own it. But you got to heal it because you're going to miss this person. Because they're going to have a right to choose at some point. Do you want to continue to try? She don't want to be there. She want to continue to give you a hard time. Do you want to continue to go through this? They're going to have a right to choose at some point. When their peace of mind is out of whack and they want to find their peace, you may be up on the chopping block if you do not allow yourself to heal. And this is for Michelle, whoever Michelle may be. Either you know her or you are her. Or you're listening to this later in life. Change that heart of yours. Heal that heart of yours. Let God do the work. You keep asking God to fix it, do it. You're looking for everything that you can find. Well, don't keep looking for stuff. Again, faith works. Fear works. You keep calling it to yourself. Eventually, you're going to see what it is that you've been trying to search for. So change that so you don't miss out on this opportunity. And they continue again. This is how you know I'm talking to you because they're in your life already. They keep saying to you, I'm not trying to make you different. They just literally get a real bad end of the stick with you because they're trying to show you that love you've been praying for and you're still not ready to receive it. That may be more than just Michelle. But when you reconcile that within yourself, if you can reconcile it now, you won't miss out. And you'll be able to testify about it later. How I was looking for love and I was asking God for love and I was asking God to be there. God is whatever we need. Whatever we want. And we don't even need to see it as a need. We simply just need to see God as that. See God as the desire. See God as the want. I am that I am. See God as that thing you desire. If God is all things, right? All things at the same time, all the time, never absent, always present, everything made manifest. See God as that want, that desire. And be okay with the fact that you can have that. The same heart that you want to love you is the same heart you need to learn how to be. Don't scar somebody else with your pain. Only want for them the same thing you desire for yourself. And it is so. I am turning on my birthday. So my birthday is July 11th. And for those of y'all who have not already seen the invitation over there on, you are so welcome, Rashida. You haven't seen the invitation over there on Facebook for July 11th, which is our birthday book release bash. And what are we doing this year? We are walking. Love Walks. We're going to kick off this movement, which I call Love Walks. And if you read What If God Is All of Us, considering the Love Walk approach to social justice and global healing, then you already know that my assignment in this earth, a part of my assignment in this earth, is to be an apostle of the message of Christ Yahshua, the message of the Christ mind and love. Seeing love as law, love as my governor, love as God, love and loving God are synonymous to me. And the solution to how to heal this land is that we all recognize that we are love incarnate, uncover that, heal everything that needs to be healed. And to do that, we all have got to get out of this place of victimhood. Woe is me. My life sucks. Everybody hates me. This is not great. It's time to heal all of that. It's time to heal all of that and become what we want to see in this earth. You want love, you want to be treated well, you feel like they did you wrong. Well, how about we stop living in that space and become the very thing that we are speaking about? And so when we talk about love walks, what we're talking about is, hey, to bear the burdens of one another is to fulfill the law of Christ. To bear the burden of one another is to fulfill the law of Christ. So therefore, when we begin to walk, and I told y'all the vision is I'm going to give you the full vision at some point, but as we are walking in different cities and states, countries even, we want to choose a space to walk. We want to walk together, just have conversation. There may be some people networking while they walking. There may be some people that are sharing their stories on platforms where we are going to try our best to contribute to the cause in that particular city or state or country, the cause that we can contribute to in our own way. But we don't just want to talk about it, we want to be about it. And so we want to walk it out. So Love Walks among us, as us, and for us is saying that, hey, God is all things. And whatever you need, God will show up as. And because we are one, when God shows up, God shows up as us, for them, as them, for us. God shows up in that way. And so we're not just going to be those that talk about love, we're going to be about it. And so this particular book I have coming up, this is an individual conversation about things that I went through on my personal spiritualistic journey. So those who want to go through that process of recognizing and allowing love to be unconditional so that you can then love your neighbor as you love yourself, tap all the way into it. But the vision is for us to not just talk about it, but be about it. If in that particular location, somebody's already doing something for that region that God is showing me. If we go into a particular region and God says, hey, homelessness in this area is this, that, and the other, this is where I want you to put this money, this effort, this time, this volunteer work, whatever, that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're trying to do with this effort. So it is a movement. It is a movement, and we want you to join us. So on my birthday, we're going to really be kicking it off. I'm going to talk more about that vision. Right now, the best way that you can support it is to go ahead and click this or use this QR code, or click the link. Did I put the link up now? I don't know if I put the link up, but bit.ly/love as the master healer. All lowercase letters. You can support by pre-ordering your copy of the book. You can pre-order multiple copies of the book. Say you want to have a book club with some people. You want to become a sponsor. There is a location there to become a sponsor for this particular book release, along with the movement as a whole. We want to not just talk, we want to do, we want to be in front of the people. If there's healing, family lineages that need to be healed, we're going to prophesy it, we're going to coach it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to do whatever we need to do, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start that off on July 11th. So on Facebook, there's an invitation there. The name switched up just a little bit. I did put book release inside the title so that you would know it if you see it. But we are going to walk, and so you can do it from your home. You can do it from your living room. You can say, hey, I'm gonna be on, but I'm gonna be walking in place in my living room. And of course, for those who are in regions where it might rain that particular day or night, you can definitely do the same. You can go to a park, to a trail. You can go to the mall. You can walk around your building. You can do whatever you want, but you're going to walk with me. I'm going to walk. You're going to walk. And of course, it's twofold, because I also need to pay more attention to my health. If you need to pay more attention to your health, this walk may be your way that love is showing up for you to say, hey, yeah, this is exactly what you needed. Go ahead and try to do some walking. All right. Love shows up. Love shows up, and I think that is definitely that's so descriptive of how I see it, because I will roll up, pop up on people in a minute, show up to celebrate them, and we want to show up, we want to put smiles on faces. So this love walk, it's I'll walk as love, for love. I show up as me, love incarnate, showing up as Shalonda, to bring joy the best way I know how, to encourage the best way I know how, to embrace where there's needed, to pray, prophesy, teach, coach, make you laugh. So I want you to join me on that day. If you have not accepted that invitation yet, please do so. If you have not pre-ordered this particular book, please do so. If I've ever added value to your life in any way, please do consider becoming a Love Walk partner with us, or sowing into the vessel tonight, tipping your treasure and saying thank you for the meal. I have this last prophetic word to say. And I was going to say this when I started the conversation. So I will be completing, and I know y'all hear me say this often, and sometimes it gets very confusing, but I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can again. When we turn an age, that's the number of years we have completed. And that's if you're from Western culture. Again, we say after a year of being on earth, we say, oh, my baby's a year old. Yes. So you've completed that 1 year. So now you are 1 year old. You complete 5 years. You are 5 years old. And so I am completing 44. So if somebody say, girl, how old are you? I'm going to say I'm 44 years old. That means that I have completed 44 years of living. Now, if you want to see things from this perspective, last year when I first talked about this particular thing, I let everybody know, hey, I have completed 43 years. I am now about to enter into this 44th year. And so it kind of confused people, because they're like, well, is you 43 or you're 44? Well, whatever number of years I have completed, That is the number that people will say they are. So I am going to say I am 44, or I will be 44 years old on July 11th, 2025, completing 44 years on this earth. But that does mean if I live past that day, then I am embarking now on a new year, and that year is 45. So entering into this 45th year, or trying to accomplish this 45 years. In other words, I'll be 44 years in a day, 44 years in 2 months, 44 years in 5 months, 44 years, and you get it, until the next year is complete. Well, I look at the number of the year I'm entering when I'm asking God for direction. And I'm offering that as a spiritual insight session for those who want to know. You're sitting in this particular year of your life and you are like, well, those years, I already completed them years. What's happening in this year of my life? Why does it seem like this is not working? What do I not know? Well, sometimes we need insight into the year that we are trying to complete. The year that we are trying to complete. Some people have their personal word. This is my year of. This is my year of this. This is my year of that. And so if we do that spiritual insight session and you're trying to get some insight into it, then I will share with you based on the year that you are trying to complete. So the number 45 is going to be the number that we use up into that time for seed or whatever the case might be. If you're trying to celebrate me, you can do 44, saying, hey, you completed these 44 years and you are now 44 years old because you've completed 44 years. I hope it's making sense to y'all. You have completed these 44 years on this God's green earth, and and I celebrate you for that. You can do that then, because you are then sowing the 44s. That will be that number 8 ultimately for my new beginning. That would be great. But if you want to do the 45, what you're saying to that particular seed is, Dr. Shalonda, Apostle Shalonda, Prophet Shalonda, I believe that this is the year where everything about your status, financially, influence wise, and all of that is changing. And it is the year where you are reaping the harvest. That's what God has shown me about this upcoming year, that after July 11th. And it's very easy to start going into the, oh God, I think I've heard stuff like this before. Is this really my time? All of that. I think I went through those motions, but I coached myself through, because guess what? I will not be found slacking on my measure of faith. I absolutely believe that all things are possible. I believe what God has told me. I believe in the promises. And so if you do a 45 seed, or you multiply that by however many, you can multiply the 45 by however many you want to create the number of the seed that you want. But you can say, hey, congratulations, I celebrate you and everything that you've accomplished this year with the 44. Or you can sow into the year to come, the year of the opened doors, open windows, where God is really going to show. God is really going to show himself mighty on my behalf. And I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. So if you want to do that, you can do that at that same link. You just do it in the either with the amount of books that you order, or you could put it in that space of donation. Whew! He about to have me jacked up over here. I feel the tears stinging. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Ah, my soul, Rebakata. Shikataya man soko rebaish. Masekeabaso. Here's this last message that I want to give you before we get off here tonight. This was a time of gathering where you could just be in a space of peace. If you are participating, if you are just here, you letting it play in the background, not really caring what's being said or not, not waiting, not trying to see if God is going to speak directly to you or whether the corporate message is for you. You're just letting it sink in as seed. I acknowledge you today as well. If that's all that you have to offer, then I just want to say thank you for being in this space, allowing that seed to be planted. And I speak and I declare over your life that your ground is good ground. And that's the reason why you're here. Your ground is good ground, and this seed is going to settle on your good ground. But for those of you who have been attentive and you've been taking your notes and you're here because you wanted answers and you needed God to speak, Hishiata Mansoko Rebakiaba Meshondoboko So Reba. This life is not going to change if your mindset doesn't. The closer and closer you get to wanting to end this life, end it all, because it doesn't seem like it's making sense, nothing's coming together the way I think it should, then that is a show that there is something in you that is still not in complete and total faith with this journey. As you have said to God, I want to do your will. I want to do what you want me to do. I want to give it all to you. I yield myself. I give myself away. All these different things that you've been saying over the time, with your hands lifted or on your knees or laying prostrate when you were crying out or slobbing at the mouth, purging, whatever it is that you were doing in your desperation to hear from God. God says, stop being desperate for me in this moment and just believe. You don't have to be desperate when you know that I can do a thing. And when you know that I will do a thing for you. Trust me. Trust me. I hear somebody praying and asking God to show them where they're blocked. Show me where my blockage is. I hear. Show me where my blockage is. Show me where my blockage is. Show me where my blockage is. You're not going to want to hear this if that's the question that you're asking. You don't want to hear this because you don't really want to know, because it has to do with you. And you are saying, when you ask whoever this is, okay, I got to get into your little space right now. But you're asking the question because you are looking for God to show you someone or something outside of you that is causing there to be a holdup. But God is saying to you today that the blockage is not with somebody else withholding your money. It's not with somebody else withholding your money, your breakthrough. It's not with somebody else holding up everything that God has for you. I hear you, and it, I don't know if you come from a very religious background, whoever this is I'm talking to, but it's almost like I can hear this song, so maybe you can relate. Everything that the devil stole, God's giving it back to me, right? You're singing that song in hope. You know, it's the cliche thing. Some things that we learned growing up, it was kind of like, you're going to say this and say this, because we've always been fighting an outward devil. We've always been fighting this outward adversary, forgetting that this is a spiritual thing. They that worship God must do so in spirit and truth. So that means that the battles that we're having, they are spiritual. They're invisible there. So this is not you fighting an outside devil. Even if you want to call the words they said devils and the way they treated you the devil and all that, you still have allowed the adversary, your adversary, to be in agreement with the fact that they were right. So until you change that mindset for yourself, you're going to continue to feel exactly the way that you do. It will not change. It will not change. If you say today it will change because I'm determined that it's going to change, and that's all that God needs is your faith, your determination, the desperation. You know, when we learned it, and I'm telling y'all, like, some of the things that even me, because I've always been a searcher, a seeker. God, I want more of you. So I've laid out, I've done all the things that I've been taught to do. And there are times where desperation or weeping and a wailing may actually be upon me, and I want to be able to use it for what it's for. It's probably a warfare that somebody else needs help or intercession fighting. But I don't want to sit around thinking and feeling like I'm in desperation for God every day when I just need to simply know that God is never absent, always present. So whatever I need God to be in this moment for me, God is. And that's what I need to believe. That's what I need to be believing when I'm sitting in meditation and prayer. That doesn't require desperation. That just simply requires absolute, total, complete conviction. I am fully convinced. So if you are fully convinced, you'll begin to see the changes. But if you have chosen to sit and wait to see if something is going to change without you coming into agreement with the change, then you're going to continue to wait. But I believe in you, whoever you are. I believe in you. I believe that you can change and turn this thing all the way around. All you're doing is repenting, right? Repentance is turning away from. So if you turn away from that lack of faith, then you're no longer in sin. That's for sure, because now you believe. But when you turn your face away from that doubt, that fear, you're no longer feeding it. You're no longer giving it the attention. And so things are going to shift. Your environment is going to change. Your life is going to change. And you're going to be able to make note of it. So keep a journal starting now. Put those intentions down and trust this process. Maso rebakataya. Meshon diabasikio rebokoto. Shindabaso rebakataya. Mesho rebakataya masikio reboshotobo. Shena masoko yaba sindia bakondio bosutu. Shenda basakaya yaba sikio robokoso. Rest your mind. I still hear desperation. I still hear it and I feel it. I hear it and I feel it. And I understand it too. I understand that feeling of desperation because something's got to give, right? Or something needs to be done and it's urgent. But it is not desperation that pleases God. It's without faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. So worrying about pleasing God is not pleasing God. Trying to make yourself be a certain type of thing, that's not pleasing God. Changing who you are is almost a smack in the face to God, saying that you didn't make me well enough and this is wrong and I'm bad and this is awful. No, you are who you are. You're just developing into something that's full and beautiful and wonderful and unique, authentic. Shintabaso repakata. My goodness. Oh, great I am. We give you glory this evening, and we thank you for those who have gathered, whether momentarily or if they were here the entire time. I pray that what they needed to receive, they received. Every seed that has been sown, allow it to sink into that good ground. And even if there's a revelation that won't hit them until tomorrow, when they have to come back and get back to that point and say, oh, this is what it was said. God's throwing out confirmations for you so that you can be sure that you are making the right move, you are taking the right steps. And then as you practice this more and more and more, your confidence will increase. The measure of faith will increase because to you, nothing will be impossible. But as you are navigating along with your faith, trying to build up that measure, you're going to have to relinquish that need to control the outcome as much as possible. Yeah, I just heard the song "What God Has for Me Is for Me." I don't know if you've been singing it. Somebody's been singing that song, or you heard it, and this is just a confirmation. Kataya manso, and this is just a confirmation for you. But what God has for you really is for you, because you're the unique expression. But the problem is not that God is not answering the prayers. It's that we can see it. We know we want it. We know we desire it. It's in us. It's springing up, but we don't really come into agreement with it. We just stand there and stare at it. Not we window shop without making a decision that, hey, I'm window shopping today, but I got a plan. This is how much it is. This is how much I'm gonna give to it. I'm gonna buy it or whatever. You know, this is what it is. I feel it. I see it. I'm gonna go after it because I trust that God made no mistake. And when you heal your heart, that means that you really get to show up authentically as yourself, there to be the solution to someone's problem, the answer to the question, the avenue through which God is going to help their wounds to be healed. The one that's going to come along with the physical strength and lift the burden and the load off of your neck so that you can do what it is you're good at. We are all those things for each other. Whew, I thank you, oh great I am. I thank you for their life. I thank you for the peace that surpasses all understanding. Let them be refreshed. Let them be refreshed even now in this moment. Let them be refreshed. Be refreshed. Be refreshed. Be refreshed. Be refreshed. Let love's embrace just keep you. What brings you comfort? What brings you comfort tonight? I'm seeing that somebody needs to do some comfort things. What brings you comfort without hurting you? What brings you comfort without hurting you? Do that thing if you're able to. Yeah, I still sleep with stuffed animals. Holding a stuffed animal is cool for me. I like colors though. Don't give me no white stuffed animal if you can help it. I love cuddling with stuffed animals. I love cuddling. Cuddling brings me comfort. I love hot chocolate. Making sure that I have alcohol to add to my soap sometimes for my baths, for my wipings. Certain music brings me comfort no matter how I'm feeling. It feels like a great big hug. Is there somebody's voice that you can listen to? Is there a certain person that you listen to on a regular basis that brings you comfort? Put them on, let them talk while you just walking around handling your business, doing other things. It brings you comfort. This is a comfort night. Find your comfort. My soul revives. You came looking for answers. Grab your answers. You know, if you come into a space looking to be taught or looking for answers or looking for a strategy or ideas or clarity or whatever, and you came ready to push the answers away, you came to ridicule, to speculate, I promise you there's something else that you could be doing with your time that'll be more beneficial for you. But you bring your own self strife. No strife in this space. Just love. If you are here because you genuinely wanted to be here, blessings. Maso Rebakata. Meshonde Bekesikio Rebo. Yakantaya maso remandia baso. Shindia basuku yamandios. Lekantaya mansokoraba. Shintabasondia basikiorabo. There's somebody listening and you just wish that you could be rocked. I'm rocking. I'm tapping my heart. So where I'm tapping is where you are. Receive the comfort. Receive the comfort. The days feel long right now, but soon it's going to seem like everything is going by so quickly because you're going to find the thing that you absolutely love doing. You're going to be lost in that thing. And you're going to have the time and the space to be lost in it. That's what this shift of your life has been about. So that you're finally free enough to be able to explore your life purpose and to not have anybody to answer to, if I can say it like that, but not in a way of rebellion, just simply in I get to make my own choices. So maybe you're going into entrepreneurship or business, whoever this is for. You're going to have time to explore, to live. You're in a new pot. Your roots, they're spreading out. And that's okay. So accept this comfort. Accept this comfort. You feel weary. It feels like this season tried to take you all the way out, but it's okay. You still standing. You still standing. Whew. Shitabaso rebakata. You're still standing. You're still standing. I speak strength to those wobbly legs of yours. Because you're like, yeah, I'm still standing, but I don't have no strength. I feel like I'm falling apart. Be strengthened even now, even now, even now. Be strengthened even now. Maso rebakatai. Be strengthened even now. You're going to understand. You asked for these answers. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You asked for these answers and now you're getting them and you don't know how to take it. But it's all right. It's all right. I'm rocking you. Trust that love got your back. Trust that love has your back. God is never absent. Love is never absent. God is never in absence. Love is never in absence. Receive it, receive it, receive it. I hear, but why do they have to do that to me? Why do they have to do it that way? Well, because they're not doing the work that you're doing right now, maybe. Or maybe at one time in life they did heal and something else happened to open their wound back up. And so they've been acting out because their wounds are open. They've entrusted things to people who didn't have the same love, who were not displaying that love, and they were hurt all over again. And I know that it seems like I'm just making excuses for people, but I'm not. I'm saying that we all literally have the capabilities of breaking something or repairing, healing, giving strength to, or doing something opposite. So you can continue to ask the question, why did they do it? Why did they say that? Why did they act that way? You can continue to ask those questions and continue to mutter over the story, and you will remain stuck. Come on, yeah, I know. I know it's not easy to hear. I know it's not easy to hear. I know it's not something that you just want to talk about or you want to feel. You just want the people who hurt you to feel that same pain. But believe me, they probably already felt it in their own way 1,000,000 times over. But what you don't want to do is keep sowing the same seed of hatred, of venom, of pain, recycling it over and over again, because it's going to just keep coming right back to you every single night, every single day. You're going to feel the pain because you won't let the pain go. You won't release them. Therefore, you're still holding on to that pain, asking it to come back and haunt you every day, every night. No, no, release it. Release it in this moment. Release it in this moment. Release it in this moment. Ikataya mansokoreba. Release it in this moment. Itadadabasutu. Koremandioso. Interestingly enough, for somebody who wants to have things to not feel like they're losing their grip, like they have no control over their own life, you continue to give that control away to others. You got to ask yourself why. Come on, we're still rocking. We're still rocking. We're still being loved. Just hear the wisdom of God for your life, even now in this moment. If you want the pain to stop, don't see pain anymore. See healing, see wholeness, see peace of mind, see joy. You will not be the very thing that hurt you. No, we're not going to let it happen. No, because you're determined, not desperate. You're determined. Your faith is speaking for you. I am whole. I am love incarnate. And I'm just trying to find my way back home to self, to love. That which is all. That which is whole. I am whole. Yes. It's okay. It's okay. Meshantaba sutu gorebakata. Shendaya basoraba. Being childlike doesn't mean being fearful. Being childlike means being bold, full of faith and conviction that all things are possible. Coming to me as a little child, as Jesus was talking about, is coming with total faith and bewilderment, just excitement and awe, believing in the impossible, dreaming, living the fantasy within themselves, believing that all things can happen. There's nothing that restricts. Go back to childlikeness. Childishness will fade when you heal the wounds, when you forgive, when you dream again. Come on, it's okay. It's okay. I know you've been giving it the best that you can. I know that you've been giving it all that you have. And one day they will see it. For some of them, it will be on the other side of your life because they just refuse to shift how they treated you. So they're going to have to move on. Or you're moving forward. It's okay. You are about to see. You are about to see. Oh, y'all, I really just got this whole view. It's like somebody just, oh God, a door just opened and it's just a nothing but a field full of flowers, beautiful colors. Shandaya manso, korebai kataya manso, yalamandio koso, healing powers in this room. Ikashetebe ikataya manso. Oreba, walk into this space, open field with nothing but healing properties, colors galore, meshantai, nothing but life, reproduction happening. New life is springing forth. Ikataya manso reba. New life is springing forth in and through you. Ikataya mansuku. Because you agreed to the new. You agree to the joy. You agree to the peace. You agree to love surrounding you. You agree to total and complete healing and wholeness. You agree. You agree to peace. You agree. Shendaya basoreba. Yes. You are protected. You are thriving. It is well. It is well. It is well. Asorebakata. Shendiabasokoremandias. It is well. Ashondebe. Sinkia robokondu. It is well. 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 And all is peace and all is love. Your yoke is easy and your burden is light because you agree to walk forward into your liberty. You agree to being made whole. You agree that you are on purpose and in purpose for purpose. And it is so. And so it is.